All right, that's a tough loss. That's definitely a tough loss for the Dodgers tonight in this Game 4 of the 2025 World Series. You know, you really had all the momentum coming into this game. You honestly did. Coming off that exciting, thrilling win in the instant classic Game 3, 18 innings, nearly 7 hours, getting that win via the walk-off homer from Freddie Freeman. You know, after getting that, again, exciting, thrilling victory in that game, having Shohei Ohtani on the mound for this Game 4, being at home, Toronto coming off on the flip side, having that heartbreaking loss with the extremely taxed bullpen, which, I mean, you had an extremely taxed bullpen as well, but specifically for them, coming off that heartbreaking loss with the taxed bullpen, no George Springer for them in the lineup tonight, like, man, you really did have all the momentum coming into this game. And here we are talking about the Dodgers Game 4 loss. It's not just a Dodgers Game 4 loss. It's a Dodgers Game 4 loss in which somehow you looked like the more flat team than the Blue Jays, who, again, were coming off that heartbreaking loss with the taxed bullpen and no George Springer tonight. You would have thought it would be Toronto looking like the flat team, but no, it was the Dodgers who, again, had all the momentum coming into this game at home with Shohei on the mound. The series isn't over. Obviously, the series is not over, but yeah, man, I'm not going to lie. For the Dodgers to lose this game, it looked like the more flat team tonight. That definitely sucks a little bit. I'm not going to lie. That definitely does kind of suck a little bit for sure. With that, let's go and talk about this Dodgers Game 4 loss. Before we do that, though, very quickly, I promise it will be quick. I do need to take care of some business, and then afterwards, we will talk about this Dodgers Game 4 defeat. I first of all want to thank the sponsor of this video, Michigan-based Roast Summer Coffee. A lot of you already know the routine by now, but just in case you don't, hot coffee, cold brews, chocolate, all kinds of great drinks and treats for you to try and enjoy. Visit our website, roastsummer.com. Links in the description below. And if you find something that you want to try and make an order, you can always save some money on that order by using my code, TonyD. Shout out to Roast Summer, thank you once again for them responding to this video. And also, if you can all please do me a favor, leave a like on this one, hit that subscribe button. I very much appreciate that. I promised you that would be quick. That takes care of the quick business that I need to take care of. Let's now talk about this Dodgers Game 4 loss. You know, again, I want to stress the series is obviously not over. Still a lot of baseball left to be played. But, yeah, again, I don't mean to repeat myself here, but seriously, you had all the momentum coming into this game, and here we are talking about a Game 4 loss in which you looked like the more flat team. I guess Toronto did definitely need this game more than you did because, you know, again, as we were talking about, like, Toronto, we were expecting them to be the more flat team coming into this game, you know? And if they would have lost this one, if the Dodgers would have won, if the Dodgers would have gone up 3-1, if Toronto would have fell down 3-1, I don't know how many people outside Toronto would really have picked them to extend this series and taken it back to Canada, you know? So Toronto definitely didn't need this game more, but still, man, the point still stands. Like, for you to look like the more flat team coming off that exciting Game 3 win, like, it's a tough loss, man. With Shohei on the mound at home, it's a tough loss, bro. That's a really, really tough loss. It wasn't Shohei's fault at all. This loss is 100% not on starting pitcher Shohei Ohtani. You know, he just made one mistake to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then in the seventh inning, he just got tired. It looked like he ran out of gas there, which John Smokes was telling you was going to come throughout the broadcast tonight, and sure enough, it eventually came there in the seventh inning. Yeah, this loss is not on Shohei whatsoever, I thought, other than the mistake he made to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and then just running out of gas there in the seventh inning. Like, he was great tonight. I don't blame this one on Shohei, the starter, whatsoever. This one is, without a doubt, on the bullpen and the offense. Starting with the bullpen, the same Dodgers bullpen that in Game 3 was awesome in that victory. You know, everyone outside of Blake who came out for the Dodgers bullpen in that game threw up a 0, threw up a goose egg. It was just Blake who gave up the run. The same Dodgers bullpen that was great in Game 3. They came in there tonight and it just imploded in the 7th inning. It was back to the usual, unfortunately, for this Dodgers bullpen. After a great game 3, tonight it was back to the concerning Dodgers bullpen. It was back to the Dodgers bullpen that everyone in Los Angeles was so worried about throughout the regular season, throughout the postseason too, and coming into this World Series. It was back to the usual, unfortunately, for this Dodgers bullpen. They imploded there in the 7th inning. Blake, who, again, was the only one who gave up a run in Game 3, didn't look good again in Game 4. It was 6-1 Blue Jays after that top of the 7th inning, and this game was pretty much over right then and there. It was very similar to Game 1 from that standpoint. You know, the bullpen came in there and instantly blew it in Game 1, and they blew it once again here in game number 4. So, yeah, again, after a great Game 3 from the bullpen, it was back to kind of the usual from this Dodgers bullpen in Game 4, which don't love to see that whatsoever, you know. And Blake specifically, not a good Game 3 performance from him, not a good Game 4 performance either. I don't think Los Angeles would necessarily complain about not seeing him throughout the rest of this World Series, but, you know, I do see a lot of people in Los Angeles talk about the fact that Dave just keeps on going to Blake Trinan, you know, so I don't know if that's necessarily going to stop throughout the rest of this World Series. I don't know. It seems like Dave really, really likes going to Blake. I don't know if that's going to stop now, even with the struggles that we have seen in the World Series, but I don't know. So yeah, really tough to see the bullpen struggle after such a great Game 3. And then the offense. Not a great night from the offense either for the Dodgers, which is crazy because they scored the first run in this ball game. They scored in the 2nd inning, 1-0 Dodgers right off the bat almost. And it's like, okay, this is a good start. Let's build off this. They didn't. They did really nothing after that other than the garbage time run in the 9th inning, which doesn't even really count because, again, it's garbage time, you know? The offense, after scoring the first run of this game, did nothing. And they really didn't have many opportunities either. Like, I think the best opportunity they had was a 6th inning. I think that's really the only opportunity that they had in this one either. So, yeah, after scoring the first run of this ball game, the offense really did nothing, which, going back to the original point that I made to start the video, to see that flatness from the Dodgers offense tonight, given it's not, I guess, entirely surprising because of that long Game 3, but at the same time, that's still not encouraging to see your offense look that flat tonight, you know? Especially when you compare it to the Blue Jays, who, again, were facing Shohei, coming off that heartbreaking loss, and were missing George Springer. Like, it really didn't look like they were really missing too many beats on offense tonight, you know? I don't know. I really don't know. This is all to say, ladies and gentlemen, to make a long story short, offensively, bullpen-wise specifically, not a great night for the Dodgers in this Game 4 defeat, and now this 2025 World Series is now even up at 2 games apiece. Overall, tough Game 4 loss for the Dodgers tonight for sure. After there were so many positives to talk about following that Game 3 win, Game 4, unfortunately, not so much. Not a whole lot of good to talk about following this Game 4 defeat for the Dodgers. So, yeah. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, obviously you can't dwell on this one. Flush it and get ready for Game 5 on Wednesday. Blake Snell on the mound, your last game of the season at Dodger Stadium. Bounce back, flush Game 4, flush the offensive struggles, flush the bullpen struggles. Get ready for this major, big-time, critical Game 5. End your season at Dodger Stadium with a big-time win with Blake Snell on the mound and take a commanding 3-2 series lead going back to Toronto. I don't know what else I can say to end this video other than that. So that is exactly what I'm going to say to end this one again. Game 4 sucked, but can't dwell on it. Flush it. Get ready for this big-time Game 5 with Blake Snell on the mound. End your season at Dodger Stadium with a victory and take a commanding 3-2 series lead back to Canada. With that, that's all I got for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate you as always. As I mentioned earlier in the video, leave a like on this one. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it for more Dodgers World Series content from me. I would appreciate that as always. Until after Game 5, take care. We'll see you then.